I think this time of year you can't talk too much about fall color. I'm with Patrick at Garland Nursery, and Patrick, this is an astounding display of red you want to focus on.
Yeah, I thought we'd talk a little bit about red today. It's my favorite for the fall colors, of course, and a lot of people see yellow in the landscape. A lot of the natives go yellow just naturally, but I think the reds pop, and that's what people are often thinking about when they're talking fall colors. So we got some fantastic options over in this area. We'll go through them all and hopefully cover what you guys need to hear. So first one I'm standing next to is actually a shrub. It is Sweetspire is the common name. Itea is the Latin name. Its variety right here is called Scentlandia. It's a new variety within the last 2 or 3 years. Usually we'd been selling Little Henry. This variety gets a little bit taller, and it handles full sun. It actually handles some pretty heavy shade, believe it or not, although the colors won't be like what you're seeing here. It handles wet soil rather well, not standing water, but wet soil, and it handles the heavy clay just fine. It blooms early in the spring, going into summer, little fragrant, mildly fragrant white flowers that kind of dangle off, and it'll be beautiful until November, December with its leaves.
And then what is this one? Amazing.
Yeah, so this is an oak leaf hydrangea. It's one of the few hydrangeas that gets really nice fall color. Most of them get yellows, but this is a beautiful maroon reddish color. It also can handle full sun, which a lot of the hydrangeas don't want full sun. Granted, it will still need good water to get it through the hot summer months, but hot sun is no problem. It gets beautiful blooms. They kind of come off the tip, little big plumes. They're white. They kind of fade a little bit to a creamy color by the end of the season, but outstanding bark as it matures. It peels off, and it's that 4th season interest.
Wonderful. And then maybe a small tree over there?
Yeah, back here we have a Stewardia, which is a beautiful 4-season interest tree right now. It's got really nice fall color. You can see some of the green leaves from earlier in the season. It has a peeling bark that in the winter gets better with age. It starts to slough off, and it'll leave a cinnamon brownish coloring underneath it, really smooth, and then it gets beautiful camellia-like flowers that are about 2 inches in the summer, late spring, early summer months. One of my favorites. I'd say it grows about 1 foot a year in the ground, so it generally doesn't outgrow its space. Most of the time 15 to 20 feet in about 15 years. So
excellent.
Perfect tree for most backyards, a little narrow in habit. So.
And look at this one. This is a Tupelo. Beautiful.
One of my favorites, and it's very underused in our area. It's a southern tree. It grows, this variety is called gumdrop. It grows to about 30 feet tall, 20 feet wide. It's got the name gumdrop because of the shape, where a lot of the other Tupelos will be taller. This one is kind of condensed, so it looks more like a gumdrop. Outstanding fall color. They handle the heavy, wet clay just like red maples would handle. And so I find it a great substitute for the overused red maple that people run into. Most of them will be about 40 feet tall in the long run.
Nice. And then crepe myrtle, because sometimes we just think about the flowers, but look at this fall color.
This is a beautiful option for most people. Many crepe myrtles will hit the 20-foot mark, but there are some that stay under. There are some that grow about 5 to 8 feet, and then some in that 8 to 15-foot range, and then there's the tree-size ones that'll get up to 20 feet. This variety is called Acoma. It has a beautiful white bloom, while many of the others have pinks and purples. This one also has a much more arching habit than a lot of the other ones, so this one will be kind of an equal canopy, 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide, and probably 12 years or so.
Nice. And then what about these two back here?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorites. It's the American smoke tree, Cotinus obovatus, and it'll grow a little taller than this one down here. This one is called Grace. Grace will grow about 15 to 20 feet, where the American smoke tree will grow up to 25 feet, I would say. The fall color on both is amazing. Right now you don't see it on Grace so much because it's a little less stressed. That plant probably had more fertilizer and got a little more water, and as you can see, this one is a big tree in a small pot, so it got stressed earlier on in the season.
It needs to go to a good home.
It does need to go to a good home, and in the ground would be the best spot for it.
And then what about these two pretty quick?
So yeah, my favorites are witch hazel and Foliage. The witch hazel is going to be a small shrub or a small tree, 15 foot tall and wide, a beautiful vase-shaped canopy. Reminds me of a Japanese maple, but it blooms in the late winter months. It'll bloom Yellow flowers on this particular variety called Arnold Promise, but there's some others. Diane is a red flowering variety, and Helena has got a really interesting orangey coppery color to it. Outstanding fall colors. Although this one's lost a lot of its leaves, you can see it would have had
so
all of those shades on one plant. And this one is a Father Gia called Blue Shadow. It's a newer introduction, and I think it's outstanding. The fall color is unrivaled by most shrubs. It'll get probably 5 to 6 feet tall in 10 years approximately, and has beautiful little bottle brush flowers in the springtime, and just an underutilized plant also.
Wow, and I heard all these are his favorites, so when you come down to Garland Nursery, you have to see all of Patrick's favorites. And this is just a small selection of what they have down here. So please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to the Garland website, and you can come out and see Patrick and all these beautiful plants. Patrick, thanks so much. It's astounding.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here.